Hi everyone, Mike here from Watch It Paint It, and in this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing and Codex review of the new Leagues of Votann army set. First off, thanks to Games Workshop for sending this to us, and second, this is pretty exciting. A completely new army for 40k with all new units, weapons, and stratagems to use. So this box is basically a combat patrol. It's roughly 500 points and gives you a bunch of dudes you could use for a kill team and a few light vehicles. Unfortunately, there's no Grimner in here, which is too bad because that guy is awesome looking. Alrighty, the Ocean of Grey. But 500 points at a time is manageable. I did make the mistake of buying about 4,000 points of units for 3 different armies over the last couple years, and now they're all in various stages of being assembled and painted. But I am learning better and faster ways of speed painting, so maybe in about 50 years or so I'll have them all finished. As you can see, the box comes with the usual cool artwork, though I kinda wish these were sealed in a layer of plastic or something and had a half-inch rim around the edge so you could frame these and put them in your hobby room. And of course we have all the bases for the troops and the hover bikes. I do like that these box sets come with the cards and the Codex as well. I also love these water transfers. As soon as I saw them, I immediately thought cyberpunk. I'll be using these as much as possible. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes, the Codex. The Votann have a pretty unique set of rules, and they immediately made me think of a tanky version of the Tau. First, they have the Judgment tokens, which reminded me of marker lights, and because it looks like they're going to have some amazing long-range weapons, and also some incredible toughness. So here are the Judgment tokens. They give you a lot of them, and the construction manual. I won't bore you with that, but just flipping through it very quickly, it looks like there's lots of weapon options available for each model. So first off, there are some really interesting looking color schemes shown in the Codex, and I love the League symbols. Like I said before, very cyberpunk looking. The League specific colors are great, and I love the bright orange. It's got a nice, here we are, what are you gonna do about it look. I'll be making a custom color scheme though, which does include the orange, just so I don't get pigeonholed into one league. And I've heard some people say they aren't a fan of the vehicle design. I'm not one of those people. I like the look, very StarCraft looking. So that brings us to the Leagues of Votann themselves. Each league has a custom, which has 2 main abilities and 1 ancestral judgment. For instance, if we look at the Greater Thurian League, they have the custom Ruthless Efficiency. The 2 abilities for this are, 1. Models with this custom count as 2 models when determining the control of an objective, and models with 10 or more wounds count as 5. And 2. Each time a unit with this custom is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 hit or 1 wound when making your attacks. The Ancestral Judgment always has to do with the Judgment tokens. You get the normal bonuses of the tokens plus 1 more that's determined here. In the case of the Greater Thurian League, anytime you attack a target with a Judgment token, treat it as though it had 1 more token on it. Next I want to talk about Judgment tokens. The Votann get a bunch of new abilities, the biggest of which is the Eye of the Ancestors, which lets you put Judgment tokens on enemy units. Judgment time. Judgment tokens are a powerful tool and are gained in many ways. Anytime an enemy unit destroys a Votann unit, it gains a Judgment token. If an enemy unit completes an action or a psychic action, it gains a Judgment token. At the end of every turn, the Votann player can pick 1 unit near an objective and give it a Judgment token. Also, the Votann HQs, called Calls, have the ability to just dole out upwards of 3 Judgment tokens to any visible unit on their turn when using the right abilities. So what do these tokens do? Each token grants an increasing chance of auto-wounding the target. With 1 token, all hit rolls auto-wound on a 6-up. With 2 tokens, that becomes a 5-up, and the max is 3 tokens where hit rolls auto-wound on a 4-up. This is on top of the ancestral ability of each league. Not only that, but auto-wounding in this way treats the die roll as a 6, which is huge for a lot of weapons. And on that note, let's look at the Magna Rail weapons. Any weapon with the Magna Rail keyword does not allow invulnerability saves against it, and on an unmodified 6 for the wound roll, all of the damage is carried over until it's expended. Now combine that with 3 Judgment tokens on a unit. The rules say that if you auto-wound a target, treat the die roll as though it was a 6. That means if you roll a 4, 5, or 6 on your hit roll, you auto-wound and it's though you rolled a 6. If you do 10 damage with your Magna Rail gun, you just wiped out a squad of Space Marines. Next, let's look at the beam weapons. These are interesting. They let you shoot through multiple enemy units, damaging every unit that the beam passes through. So if you wound a target with a beam weapon, then you roll a wound roll for every other unit that the beam passed through. The next two abilities are Steady Advance and Void Armor. Steady Advance allows dwarves to just take a 3 on their advance rolls, and vehicles to take a 6. They also ignore all modifiers to their movement, advance, and charges. Void Armor is just like Armor of Contempt, except better. All attacks allocated to a Votann model have the armor penetration reduced by 1, and enemies are also not allowed to reroll their wound rolls or their damage rolls. So those are the key highlights that I took away from this codex, and it'll be interesting to see how these play on the battlefield. You never know until you actually try them out. But for the time being, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of happy Space Dwarf players out there. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, and stay tuned for some custom Votann paint jobs in the very near future.